What's up, everybody? Good day. Welcome into First Take. To my left, Skip Bayless, and to my right, Stephen A. Smith. I'm Molly Karam. And let me say, gentlemen, you're looking extra handsome today. I'm liking the black suits.
Trying to butter us.
No, I have no reason.
I must admit.
But what is my reason?
I must admit, I am told that I look extra special in black all the time. I just want you to know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I am told
Not
that.
the first time you heard this.
We all know neither one of us look anywhere close to how good you look. So let's just move on to this. Do what we do.
I do have to ask you, did you have somebody sabotage my chair? Because I feel like it's starting to fall over here. So you did it to both chairs today.
Me?
Yeah,
Nah, man.
you.
Nah, man.
It's the only shot you got today.
Listen, I'm in the studio. Be happy. Be nice.
I'll shake your hand for that.
There we go.
Yeah.
Don't make me go to New York now.
Stay.
Are you guys ready to work? Or
I'm
Yeah.
ready. We
All
always
right,
ready
let's
to
go.
work. We always
Coming
ready to
up,
work.
is there beef with RG3 and Kirk Cousins, or is this much ado about nothing? We will fill you in on that. Plus, Ole Miss knocks off Alabama. What does this mean for Nick Saban, and will the Tide still roll? But we kick things off in Indy, where the Jets beat the Colts 20-7. The Colts, meanwhile, were shut out in the first half in consecutive weeks for the first time in over 20 years. Luck was 21 of 37 for 250 yards and 1 touchdown and 3 picks, 4 turnovers total. Here's Luck.
We don't want to take anything away from what the Jets did on defense, but we continually shoot ourselves in the foot with penalties and turnovers. And if we don't clean those up, it's hard to win. I don't think we're necessarily a perfect, well-oiled machine right now. I don't think you ever are in week 2 necessarily. But I'd like to think we have a fair bit of improvement, to make.
Skip, your boy, Luck. How much blame does
I think he's your boy, Luck.
Your boy.
Yeah.
How much blame does he deserve in this one?
Stephen A. Smith, here we go again. Now, I realize I'm going to get this all out of the way up front. Vinatieri, the great Adam Vinatieri, missed a chip shot field goal. And I realize the formerly great Frank Gore fumbled at the goal line. I realize the Colts are decimated at cornerback and that the offensive line is, I'll give it average. I don't think it's worse than average. It's about average. And I realize that Andrew Luck has faced 2 top 5 defenses right out of the box this football season.
Right.
But if Andrew Luck is as great as everyone tells me he is, including you and you, especially you,
Especially me.
then he deserves at least 60% of the blame for what's happened in week 1 and week 2 to his Indianapolis Colts that you picked to be in the Super Bowl,
Yeah,
correct?
Get me started with that. I'm shaky on that one, too.
Oh, maybe you're going to back off that one?
It's been a bad week.
Okay.
First I got to back off on the Eagles. Now I might have to back
He has
off on
the right
the
to
Colts.
change, right?
Wait, and there's
I'm not going to do it yet.
that
I'm not gonna
Seattle
do it
team?
yet.
You had
I'm not
Seattle
gonna,
in?
No, I'm not. I haven't budged from
Yeah,
Seattle.
okay.
They just have to get Cam Chancellor back.
Okay, all right, I got you. You know what my pet peeve is. It's the premature coronation of one Andrew Luck, or as I call him, Andrew Locke, as in Locke, first ballot Hall of Famer, according to everyone. And you know what? Got nothing personal against the kid.
I know.
Like him, like what he stands for. I just keep saying, show me, Andrew, and I will believe. Mm-hmm. And all he keeps doing, to my eye, is turning the ball over and over and over again. He was a turnover machine as a rookie when he had the second most combined fumble interception turnovers in the National Football League to one butt fumble Mark Sanchez. And then even last year, his 3rd year in the NFL, he had the second most combined turnovers in the National Football League to one of your favorite quarterbacks, Jay Cutler. Mm-hmm. And now, after 4 more last night, Andrew Luck, of all people, leads the National Football League in combined turnovers with 6 total, 1 ahead of Sam Bradford, another of your favorite quarterbacks, 5. Sam Bradford has 5. Mm-hmm. Need I point out that his QBR, obviously, in those first 2 games has fallen all the way combined to 30th in the NFL out of 32 quarterbacks listed. And I need to keep this in some perspective because in the money games, the postseason games, he has 9 touchdown passes to 12 interceptions. Not a pretty sight either. I will remind you also that Andrew Luck got destroyed in Buffalo by a Buffalo defense that Tom Brady just destroyed at Buffalo with 466 yards passing and 40 points. So all that said, big picture, I'm sorry. I got to give him at least half the blame. I'm going to dare to go all the way to 60%, and you're probably going to tell me that's completely unfair. but I'm just going by the bar set as high as you have helped set it.
Okay. Are you finished?
Yeah.
Couple of things. Number one, this is not a day that I'm in any position to disagree with your assertions about Andrew Luck. Let me be very, very clear. He deserves at least 50% of the blame. Since the start of last season, he's got more turnovers than any quarterback in the league. 21 interceptions, 7 fumbles. It's inexcusable. It's sloppy. He knows it. Everybody and their grandma knows it. The bottom line is Andrew Luck has to play better. He doesn't look nor resemble anything like the quarterback that I've been bragging about he is. That I will openly confess to you. But don't you dare sit here with that face of yours and act like...
I like my face.
Allow me to finish. Allow me to finish. And Ernestine likes it, which is all that matters. So let me be very, very clear. Don't you dare sit there with that face of yours and act like your love for RG3 has nothing to do with your feelings about Andrew Luck, because I know you better than that.
Wait,
I'm just saying, I'm not
wait,
going
we're talking about the same RG3 who outplayed Andrew Luck during the rookie years?
I'm not getting into the whole thing because I'm not questioning your credibility on the argument, because you watched RG3 throughout his college career, which is why I think your gospel, well, not as much as RG3.
I did. I watched him a lot.
Okay, well, that's not what you told me.
I saw Brandon Whedon outplay him in a bowl game.
I was getting ready. Well, exactly, and I watched him, and I was there. I went all the way out to L.A. to watch him.
That was your one game.
And I was there for that one. I just watched the games, but that's okay. I watched the games on TV like you.
And you know what? He threw a late pick 6 in that game. Remember that?
He also dropped 56 points that game, so be mindful of that. And even though that's the one game I went to for Andrew Luck, I watched him play. I didn't love RG3 the way you loved RG3, which is why you said you would pick RG3 number 1 and that you didn't sit up there and you would have passed on Andrew Luck. See where that got you. Here's the reality.
He got hurt. That's where it got me.
Doesn't matter.
He got hurt.
He can't play the way he was playing. He didn't want to play that way anyway. I look at Andrew Luck right now, and I will concede that I give him 50% of the blame. What I would say to you is let's pay attention to Coach Chuck Pagano as well. Because one of the things in the great Bob Kravitz, his column in the Indianapolis Star, I think he wrote something, and he's talking about how Chuck Pagano was reminded of the woes on the offensive line. Andrew Luck being sacked 100 times over the last 3 seasons, constantly being pressured all night by that Jets defense, which seemed every bit as elite, as marketed, as hyped and advertised, which I'll get into in a second.
Yep.
When Chuck Pagano was confronted with that question, I was very uncomfortable with his response, Skip. He said, well, it's been the same scenario for Andrew Luck for the past 3 years now. He should be used to it. Wait a minute. Why is it the same situation over the last 3 years if you're the head coach? Should that not have been resolved by now? You've got to get this boy some protection. You don't get it.
Was that a shot at the GM?
Well, the GM Gregson, whether it's Pagano or Gregson, I don't know.
But if he says the same situation, you're saying he doesn't have enough help?
Well, then you know what? My attitude is they're just as culpable as Andrew Luck, because Andrew Luck was pressured last night. Again, Skip, nobody's absolving him. He played bad. And you have to play better. You can't turn off the ball while you're scrambling for a first down. But that interception by Revis, he was pressured by Muhammad Wilkerson. It was all over him. Hit him, nipped him on his right arm.
So why try that throw? Why even try it?
Well, again,
it's a bad idea.
No, it happens all the time in the NFL. You're trying to unleash a throw, and somebody hits you on your arm. It happens. Drew Brees is hurt today because of that very situation that happened with him last weekend as well. All I'm trying to say to you is this. Yes, there was a fumble by Frank Gore, very uncharacteristic. Yes, there was a chip shot field goal that was missed by Adam Vinatieri, very uncharacteristic. Andrew Luck, unfortunately, his turnovers don't appear to be uncharacteristic. It seems to be the norm for him.
It does.
And he has to fix that, because no matter how good he is, no matter how great his upside is, no matter how great I believe he will be, and I still believe that with all my heart, the fact is he's turning the ball over too much, and it has to be addressed. With that being said, there are a couple of things that contribute to this. Indy didn't have 4 of their top corners, okay? That's a big deal. They had some dude from the practice squad that they signed on Friday in the lineup last night. That's number 1.
And Vontae Davis got dinged.
Vontae Davis got dinged.
Yeah.
He got hurt.
Yeah.
Number 3, that offensive line is not protecting Andrew Luck. The Jets were in his face all night long. And number 4, can we take a moment to give the Jets some love? I was shocked at how well Ryan Fitzpatrick was running. Forget the throwing. I couldn't believe how he was running with the football.
Okay, save that for just a second.
That's
okay,
right.
I'm with
in the
you.
end, we're going to get into the Jets in a second. So I'll hold off on that. In the end, what this comes down to is that the offensive line is not protecting Andrew Luck, and Andrew Luck, once again, is trying to do too much. He's acting like a novice instead of an experienced quarterback who is supposed to know better. So you are right. I will concede that Andrew Luck simply has to play better, and he just has to protect the football. But that offensive line does not do a good job of protecting him, even with Harriman's added, leaving the Eagles, joining the Indianapolis Colts, even with him being added, even with you having some semblance of a running game, because even though Frank Gore didn't rush for over 100 yards or whatever, he averaged about 4 yards a carry. He was running the football relatively effectively. He just bobbled the fumble, and that's how it happened. But I was pleased with Frank Gore for the most part. I think this is about that offensive line and Andrew Luck and the lack of protection. Chuck Pagano and Grigson have not gotten him. Even though the sacks have dissipated over the last few years, he's still getting hit quite too much. And boy, did the Jets hit him last night.
I got to stop you on one quick point.
Sure.
You cannot use Harriman's as a double negative because you criticize Chip for getting rid of him, but you then turn around and criticize him for not protecting Andrew Luck. So which way is it?
I didn't say him. I'm saying that he's added. I mean, his status. This is 11th year.
That should be an upgrade.
Let me say this to you. This is his status. He's been in the league. This is his 11th year. He's only missed 3 games. He's only missed starting 3 games in his career. All I'm saying to you is this. He is considered a talent. He is added to that offensive line. I'm not blaming him. I'm simply saying he's arguably the face of that offensive line at this particular juncture. I'm saying as a unit, they have to do better. And Chuck Pagano and Grigson have to insist on upgrading that to protect their franchise caliber investment. They should have done a better job of making sure that Andrew Luck is protected. Look at the Dallas Cowboys and what they did. Remember, Jerry Jones wanted to go out and draft other people. Tony Romo said, no, I need you to get me an offensive line. Let's focus.
I think Stephen Jones said no, but go ahead.
That's fine. That's fine.
I do.
Stephen and Jerry Jones locked in on Tony Romo's request, and now the Dallas Cowboys have the best offensive line in the league.
They
Look
do.
at the success they're enjoying because of it. Indy should see that formula.
Okay, am I piling on? Am I being unfair by statistically breaking down when a turnover machine Andrew Luck has been?
Not at all.
Because I don't think I am. I don't want to look like I am.
No.
I'm just spouting
let's give some
facts.
credit to the defenses as well that he's faced.
I'll give some, but look, if he's Andrew Luck, is in first ballot Hall of Fame Luck, he should be a little better even against these defenses because I just told you, Tom Brady's starting 3 offensive linemen in front of him. 3. The whole interior is rookie.
But in fairness,
466 at Buffalo.
We'll get into it when we talk about the Jets. But the reality, Skip, is this. You're not giving enough credit to the superiority of the coaching and the system employed in New England compared to Indianapolis. The fact is, Chuck Pagano was a feel-good story for obvious reasons. God bless him. He seems to be healthy, and definitely we wish him him and his family nothing but the best. And I think that he's a really good guy and a really good person. And 3 consecutive 11-5 seasons are nothing to sneeze at. I'm not sitting here and saying that the man can't coach. I am saying that the one ailment that they have that has served to be their biggest impediment is that offensive line. And the reality is that they seem to have done little about it. They have to prioritize this. They went out and got Andre Johnson. You go out and you get Frank Gore. But your offensive line continues to be a problem because when people want to apply pressure, they seem to have a relatively easy time of doing it, albeit it is Buffalo and New York, 2 of the elite defenses.
Last quick point before we go to the Jets. You talked about my RG3 obvious bias, but there's another little bias operating here.
Okay.
That's Deflategate, which is why I tweeted at the end of the game, wonder if the Colts are going to ask the refs to check the inflation levels of Ryan Fitzpatrick's footballs tonight, because he went Tom Brady on them. Well,
Really?
so I'm taking some
Really?
pleasure in what's
Really?
happening to your
I did see that
Indianapolis
too.
Colts.
It was 10-7 until the fourth quarter.
Okay.
That is not the same as the New England
Ryan
Patriots.
Fitzpatrick
Hold on.
lit
That's not
you
the
up?
same. That's not the same. No, he didn't lit. He didn't
I
light
thought by
them
his
up.
standards, that was a light
by
up.
his standards.
Yeah.
But that is completely
Well, I'm just saying, I'm
different
taking
than the
a measure
Indianapolis
of
Colts.
satisfaction
I
with what's
appreciate that
happening.
Hold on.
disclaimer, your
Thank you.
honesty
I
for the
am.
viewers out
I'm
there.
just telling you, I'm taking a measure
Well,
of
evidently,
satisfaction.
y'all don't want me to finish my
Go
thoughts,
ahead,
so I'll leave
go
it
ahead.
alone.
No,
I'm
we
saying
do.
45-7 is 45-7. Outscored 28-0 in the second half is entirely
legally
different.
inflated
it's
balls.
entirely different than being down 10-7. Let's pump the brakes on the Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I was
Bulls.
kidding. I mean, it was just obviously just a
I mean,
shot
but
at the
you're
Colts,
taking a shot
the
at
whistleblowers
If-
that they were.
And I'm saying to you, don't engage in preemptive behavior. The Colts are going to go up against New England in about 3 to 4 weeks, and Lord help them. The way they're looking right now, I am scared of what New England is going to do to them when they face them. That's going to be a very scary night
Yeah,
for the
but-
Indianapolis. It's not a matter of whether they're going to lose or not, because we know they're losing.
Okay.
It's a matter about how much. So they would need to fix it just to avoid
I know.
getting completely embarrassed.
But the point is, they have the ultimate safety net. Do the Colts? They play in the AFC South.
Yeah, first they have the Titans, Jags,
The
and
next three
Houston
games.
before
Next three
that.
games in the
All right, ready to focus